Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at Moza Slypod Pro. Slypod Pro is a multi-purpose tube slider which can also be used as a monopod. As you might know, I have been using both Slypod and Slypod E for a couple of years now. Those are two of very few pieces of gear that I use in every single video on this channel. The Slypod Pro promises even better performance and it is even more versatile. In this video we will take a look at the performance and the usefulness of the Slypod Pro, and I will also compare it a bit to the original Slypod and Slypod E. Slypod Pro is basically a larger version of the original Slypod with some extra features. It weighs 1460 grams and it is 65 centimeters long when collapsed. Slypod Pro is only available in carbon fiber version. That saves the weight and it also looks great in my opinion. The build quality is very good. Everything is either carbon fiber or metal. It generally feels like a professional piece of equipment. I mostly use all of the Slypods for simple slider shots, so let's start with that. Slypod Pro has a maximal travel of 520mm. That is a big improvement over 280mm on Slypod and Slypod E. Because the Slypod Pro uses two inner tubes, it is only 65mm longer than the original Slypod, so it has very good travel to size ratio. The horizontal payload was supposed to be 2 kg, but Moza has upgraded some parts and it will be 3.5 kg. Regarding the smoothness, it is generally very good. Here you can see probably the most challenging task for a slider, which is a semi-macro close-up shot at 90mm. I can say that I am very happy with the smoothness in this shot. It also works completely fine for usual product shots. More usual situations such as real estate interior shots are completely fine. These are very smooth and definitely more than usable for commercial use. The smoothness with Slypod and Slypod E is quite similar. Non-close-up shots are also not an issue for these. Close-up shots might actually be a little bit smoother with the original Slypod because there is just one tube and simpler mechanism. An important thing is also to use a solid tripod. For Slypod Pro you need something like Manfrotto 055 and MVH502AH head. If possible, I recommend using two tripods for the best stability. The second use of the Slypod Pro is a monopod. I know some wedding shooters who say that they can't live without a monopod. Probably the biggest advantage of Slypod Pro in monopod mode is that you can adjust it using one hand simply by pressing the buttons on the handle. This is much faster and much more convenient. Slypod Pro comes with very solid legs which are easy to pack and deploy. These legs also have a ball head with adjustable friction. Horizontal payload is 6 kg, so it will be sufficient for any mirrorless setup in monopod mode. That brings us to the mounting options. For slider use, Slypod Pro has two Arca mounts on each end. As I've explained, you can use those to mount Slypod Pro using two tripods, which is the most stable option. There are also various threads in case that you want to use some other type of mounting plates. Slypod Pro also has 1/4" mounts on each end. Pan and tilt head goes on one end and you can put the legs on the other hand if you are using it as a monopod. If you use it as a monopod, the head goes on the end with the grip and the legs go on the other end. If you use it as a slider, the head goes on the end without controls. The new pan and tilt head is a huge improvement over the original Slypod. The tilt can be freely adjusted on this new head. On the older Slypod head, it can only be adjusted in steps. The new head also has Arca mount. I much prefer Arca over Manfrotto mounts on the older head. A downgrade is that the old head has a solid slide-in type mount which always stays in place. The new head has a simple 1/4" thread and a friction pin. I haven't had any issues with that so far, but it is not quite as solid as the old head connection. Slypod Pro comes with a very practical transport bag. It fits the Slypod Pro with legs and ball head attached. It is well padded, so it sufficiently protects your Slypod Pro while transporting. A huge advantage of Moza gimbals and Slypod lineup is that they can work together to provide some pretty amazing moving shots. It is all set up through the app, which is admittedly not the easiest thing in the world, but if you take some time to figure it out, it will be fine. This is in my opinion one of the main selling points of Moza products. All three Slypods are controlled through the Moza Master smartphone app. The app itself is very simple and reliable. I just use the regular mode and simple speed settings most of the time. There are also special modes where you can preset basically any type of movement, gradual acceleration, and so on. You also need to use this app when you want to set up collaboration between the Slypod and a gimbal. Regarding the comparison with the original Slypod and Slypod E, I wouldn't say that the Slypod Pro is simply a better version of the Slypod. It is more of a different version. The biggest advantage of Slypod Pro is the longer travel. Those 240 extra millimeters make a big difference, especially for real estate or anything shot using wide angle. It is also much more useful as a monopod due to the maximal height and sturdy legs with a ball head. I would also say that the original Slypod is a little bit smoother in semi-macro longer focal length situations. Slypod is also lighter almost by 700 grams, so it is more portable. You can also use it with lighter tripods. Slypod E is a cheaper aluminum version. It comes with a simple 1/4-inch adapter instead of the wooden handle and a soft case instead of the hard case. To sum up, I think that all three Slypods are useful filmmaking tools. Slypod Pro is the most versatile version thanks to 520mm travel and improved monopod functionality. It generally performs very well and it provides smooth camera movement. Added functionality with Moza gimbals is also a big advantage. Slypod and Slypod E are also great options for those who prefer shooting at longer focal length or require something even more portable. I think that Slypod Pro is especially useful for wedding filmmakers, event shooters, and documentarists. As I have mentioned, these Slypods are among very few pieces of equipment that I have personally used for making every single video on this channel in the past 3 years. I am very happy with the results, so I can recommend them. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section and see you next time.